So what about Jacksonville on their defense? You said they hot trash. Like, what you mean? Like the whole defense or what?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, they have some good pieces and everything. They got a good pass rush and everything, but their run defense it was just straight dookie. I mean, when you getting something ran up on you where it's 130 plus yards per game and everything, and you ain't stopping nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You got some horses down there. You got Joe Mixon for the Texans. You got Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. I mean, you got some decent running backs, and they just putting it on you like left and right. So, I think they should have probably looked at really going after and hoping for a run stopper. I actually had Mason Graham going to them with the fifth pick, but they wanted their guy. And whenever you want your guy, you got to do what you can to get him. And, good for y'all because y'all got their guy and an extra draft pick from it. So, I mean, it might be the next Bears pick, draft for y'all. I mean, y'all might get y'all's future with the way they play down there, y'all might get like y'all might get Arch Manning or something. I mean, shit.
Those but I don't want that though. But he needs to stay right where he at. Okay, let's not forget the number one pick. I like Tennessee because they always getting the bros at quarterback. They be taking chances on them, even when it was an era where most teams wouldn't, like Warren Moon to what's his name? What's the dude after him? Steve
Steve
McNair,
McNair.
Vince Young. They always get the bros at court. So that's the only reason I don't like Tennessee, but I like the quarterback position. So
Right.
what you feel about Cam Ward going number one with the
I,
type?
I mean, you have to. I mean, you look at what that team has done in the last, ever since Steve McNair left that team, it's just been a revolving door. They've had 20 different quarterbacks since Steve McNair left back in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Will Levis, he's not him. Uh, your best quarterback is, I mean, think about it. Ryan Tannehill is your best quarterback for the past almost 20 years.
Yo,
That's got to sting a little bit. So, I mean, the dude was a former receiver. He did all right, but I mean, anyone could do all right when you turn around handing the ball off to Derrick Henry every single time. I mean, and then he had AJ Brown on the outside. I mean, I just remember hearing about that trade, and I was like, God, they got rid of AJ Brown. Y'all had a team, bro.
that's
I
crazy.
mean, come on. No, but I like Cam Ward. I think that he has a very good chance of being a franchise quarterback. I know some people are not as high onto it, but look at the film, man. Just check him out on YouTube. That's what I did. I mean, yeah, you're just seeing highlights, but man, dude made it look easy.
I wish the
And
Browns would have got him so bad.
yeah, I mean it's fluid when you saw him run it like he's on the run when he had to be. There was one clip where he's literally just standing there like he's playing catch with his little son out in the backyard. I was like, oh man, they're playing catch. That's sweet. But you know, he has the cannon. He can run when he needs to. He made Miami relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And, I already knew who he was when he was with Washington State the year before. And the crazy thing about that, you were on the no cap stat. He was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school as a wing T quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, proves in the proofs in the pudding. He proved it over in Washington State, and then when he went to Miami, he blew up. And they got his buddy Restropro from Miami as an undrafted free agent. So you got your slot right there. I mean, Tennessee is it's going to take some time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but Tennessee be all right after about 3 or 4 years.
You feel like Marcus Mariota? What happened to him in Tennessee?
He didn't develop as a passing quarterback. You look at what happened after he left there. His best seasons were in Tennessee, and then when he went to Atlanta. In fact, I went I went to the Bears game in Atlanta a couple of years ago where he was still the starting quarterback, and then when they benched him to put in what's Penix Jr.,
Yeah.
he walked off. He was like, I'm done. And I was like, man, how can you do that? no, I'm good. I'm gonna call it as it is. So, uh, but yeah, no, Mariota, I just think that he didn't develop as a true passing quarterback. He had all the athleticism. He could have done it. He just didn't do it.
You feel like I feel like in Oregon, it's more he was doing like the Lamar Jackson
Mm-hmm.
without Lamar Jackson speed or
Right.
accuracy. I feel like he just had a good Oregon team. Was he at Oregon?
Yeah, he was at Oregon.
Okay, I'll make sure.
You're
Okay,
there. You're at the
okay,
right
yeah.
school.
So he had the right team, but I feel like once he got to the NFL, you not Lamar. Even though
Mm-hmm.
you came before Lamar, you just had no. You have to actually, and we know Titans don't run that. Now they might with Cam Ward, but they don't run that type offense. Mariota was there. You had to actually pass. It's like a West Coast hand the ball off, throw it
Mm-hmm.
short. He couldn't do that. He was so used to just throwing the ball deep or play action. Now you have to actually be a pocket passer. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't his game to me. So I feel like that's what went wrong with Mariota.
No, I agree. Well, I mean, you got to think around the time that he was doing, you had a lot of teams going into that RPO type scheme.
Mm-hmm.
There was pass option. He only had to look for one person. And if he didn't see what he liked, then he would take off running. And you can't really develop a quarterback like that. And if you don't have the coach that could really do it, I forgot who his coach was when he was at Tennessee, but you know, you gotta have it's like when I was watching the Bears when after they drafted Caleb Williams, and God knows I hated Eberflus really bad, like horrible coach. As far great defensive mind, but as a defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator, how in the hell are you going to sit there and tell a quarterback about how he needs to work on his footwork when he's passing the ball? You're not a quarterback guy. You're a defensive coordinator. Work on the defensive. Get a guy that can actually talk to him, develop him, show him how to actually do things, and then go that just step back. That's what Bill Belichick used to do. And then of course, whenever his guys left and everything, they were garbage. So I mean, they did right when they were in New England, but as soon as they went somewhere else, they just straight garbage. Except for Mike Vrabel, he was actually decent.
Yeah. The what was I about to say? What's another play? Oh yeah, what's the boy from Boise State?
Genty, Aston
Judgy.
Genty,
What the Raiders? Man, I I feel like Oakland about to run him and not Oakland.
Las Vegas. I
Las
know you're
Vegas.
talking
I
about that.
still call him Oakland. I
Oh,
don't
dude,
care.
I'm used to it too. I do it too. I mean, hell, they moved four times.
The Raiders about to run him in the please do not run him in the ground. Just make just we already know y'all not gonna be good. So let's not do the we gonna run Genty into the ground. Like how about we do the let's run them but let's pass. We already know y'all gonna throw pick sixes. Like Raiders, y'all let's be realistic for like a season or two, dude. They about to run him in the ground because I just think they about to run.
Well,
They about
they definitely got the coach to do it. I mean, Pete
to,
Carroll. I mean, to be honest, you look at that whole division. That is a division of really good coaches. You got Sean Payton, you got Jim Harbaugh, you got Andy Reid, and now you got uh, Pete Carroll in the mix. That is insane. But yeah, no, they're going to run them into the ground because let's be real, Geno Smith. So yeah, he got his one Pro Bowl season underneath Pete Carroll. But I mean, and really and truthfully, like I make a joke to Mr. First Down all the time about this. I say, what's more of a life accomplishment for Pete Carroll, winning the Super Bowl or making Geno Smith a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback? You decide. And he was like, man, it's super. I said, I don't know, man. Have you seen Geno Smith play? It's
I
horrendous.
hate to tear down the Braves at QB, but Gino Smith one of them exceptions. Though you was just not that like even back then. I'm like, but like he was alright in college, but he was just not that I just did not see it, man. Like I'll be trying to go against the Braves at QB, but I like it's like we already knew the Jets was trash. So we already knew what was that Mark Sanchez era. So we already knew
Mm-hmm.
like
the the Sanchez.
Like you didn't really have no expect. Like you had expectations, but you really didn't with the Jets. So he just looked good. But then once he actually had to start playing Geno Smith, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, bro. Then he spent like what 5 6 years behind Russell Wilson.
I think he may have, but I think he actually was out of football for a little bit. I
Yeah,
want
he
to say
did.
he was actually out of football for like 1 year.
He did disappear and then show back up. I'm like, Geno Smith's still in the league.
I didn't know he was. I was
I
like,
didn't even know
man,
he was a backup.
I thought he was sitting there selling insurance to like Aaron Rodgers or something, doing that discount double check right alongside him. So,
But yeah, man. So what you think they gonna do with Genty though? You think they gonna try to make him be like a just straight run, or you think they gonna try to do the LT with the get creative or what? Like,
I mean, he can catch out of the backfield. And,
yeah,
one of the things that you didn't really get to see it that much because Boise State, they just basically that was their offense. They turned around, handed them the ball. And yeah, they got thumped in the playoffs, but it wasn't because of him. He still got his 100. He
yeah,
still got his 100
he
yards in that game. He was getting the crap beat out of him. He got that 100 yards. But my only thing with him is kind of like what you're saying. I'm kind of worried that, that they're going to overuse him a little bit at first. He's a running back. Nowadays, you look at the size and everything like that of all the defensive linemen and stuff. You're talking about 250, 300-pound brick walls that have 4.4 speed nowadays. And he's 5'9", 230. He reminds me a lot of Maurice Jones-Drew in the way that he runs. He's
uh-huh.
very short, compact, and can get low. But man, I think that with the amount of use that he got when he was with the Boise State Broncos, that really and truthfully kind of ease him into that system. Don't just throw him out there. You're like, all right, young man, go get him, young blood. You want to kind of easy, get a couple other like another running back to kind of split the shares and then see how he does. But he's sixth overall pick, so they're going to run him into the ground.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people say he ain't had much competition in college in the conference he was in. I could agree with that. I'm just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
honest. I could agree, but
I could see that.
now that we in the NFL, dude,
Mm-hmm.
that you just running like 30, 40 times a game, that is not about to
No, it's
work.
not going to happen.
Cause those is going to get in their mind, if I break you, that's a bonus I get. See, it's all
There
about
you
the money with these players. If they can break you,
go. Mm-hmm.
especially you come out the media hype as this top running back, oh, they getting that contract. Just off them breaking you, getting you out
Mm-hmm.
the game. So that's what I'm trying to say. The Raiders they just need to like, yeah, play him here and there. But that we just running him like he Barry Sanders nonstop. Y'all see how that's
Yeah, I
that's
got
not
used to
about
seeing Barry.
Barry was tired, man.
I
That
love Barry.
fool,
Favorite running back of all time.
Barry was. Did you see the documentary? That man was stressed
Great.
that
Yep.
last year.
Oh, dude. That's it. And I mean, I always kind of wondered why he quit. Like just out, if he didn't quit, Emmett Smith would not be your number one rushing king of all time. Dude was just leaps and bounds better than Emmett Smith, and Emmett Smith had probably one of the greatest lines of all time. But
That's why I got Barry Sanders number one. They were talking about
uh,
Walter Payton and all that. No,
no, I'm a Bears
Dick
fan, and I don't even say that. So,
Dickerson, Emmitt Smith. What's the other ones up there? Adrian Pearson. Okay, I might
mm-hmm,
put AP up there. There, AP didn't have no line for it. The first years
mm-hmm.
he did like over time, but Barry had zero line. Those used to be just jogging through the line. He used to be just getting like 20 yards.
Yeah,
Emmitt Smith used to be just walking 20. It was with
mm-hmm.
the O line. It's a
It's
completely
ridiculous.
different, man.
Yeah,
And
no. When I sit there, like if I was to do my top five, if you want, you could do your top five real quick too. I would actually put number one would be Barry Sanders for me. Then I would go Jim Brown, then Walter Payton, then Emmett Smith, and then I'd hit LT at the very end.
I ain't gonna put no order because I don't want to get roasted. I'm gonna do it. Barry, LT. Just
Mm-hmm.
off how they had to carry them because even Chargers offense, the
Oh yeah,
defense was
no.
good, but not the O. So I'm gonna have LT Barry, AP because he was definitely he came from the post Randy Moss in them era, so AP definitely was balling even with the
Oh,
whooping.
that,
Well,
he was it. He was all they had.
so I'm gonna give him three. He could have way more numbers too, but you know
Mm-hmm.
how that came. So AP, LT, Barry, Emmett, because Emmett towards the later of them years didn't have no O line, so he really had to run. So he let me get Emmett. Dang, who my fifth? Who I put fifth? I don't want to say Jim Brown. I don't want to say
You
because
don't
I
want to
don't
say
think
Jim
I
Brown?
don't.
I mean, he retired at 30. So I mean, if he didn't retire at 30, and that's when they could do anything to you whenever you ran up against that defense. And they're sitting there trying to break his neck, break his legs, and they're dropping elbows and
But
stuff.
especially in the era of racial stuff. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't like he just
That dude was a tank.
he was tank, but I don't think he top five though. Like, oh my god, this hard. Who I put five, man? I'm gonna have to say Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson, that's a solid choice. I
Yeah.
mean, he glit like when he ran, dude, he made it. That's another player that made stuff look so easy. People were like, he makes it too
He
easy.
made running look fun.
Yeah, no, I wish I could. I wish I could look like that when I run, but I look like he's over there running like a gazelle. I'm over there running like a hippo. It's not pretty.
Honorable mentions, I'll say like a Bo Jackson, but he had a short career. Marcus Allen, them kind of guys. Like them my honorable mentions. It's a lot more, but I'm gonna say them. Who your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions
Yeah,
out of my top five.
yeah.
Well, I'm not going to really give it like Bears bias. Well, I'll just say the people that I grew up watching, was able to actually watch. So I'm from 1980. So Eric Dickerson would be in one of my, he would be in my top five. AP would, of course, be there too.
Mm.
Um, just thinking of some names. I saw Marcus Allen play. So he would probably be in my top 10. Um, man, switched it up. Curtis Martin. A lot of people don't ever talk about him.
Jets.
Jets.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
He was
remember
with the
him.
Patriots before that, but he carried that Jets team.
I remember him. He was carrying that team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Priest,
if there's a
Priest
team that would,
Holmes,
oh yeah, Priest Holmes.
Cheese. What's the deal with the Ravens? What's the deal with the Ravens
Jamal Lewis, who y'all boys got later on. Y'all got him
carrying
last year.
that Ravens O was trash.
Mm-hmm.
The
Carried them
team,
right into the playoffs.
the defense was number one, A1. Offense
Mm-hmm.
was God. What was they? Was it Trent Dilfer that quarterback?
That was when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Like,
Yeah, he was. He was the quarterback when Jamal Lewis was the rookie. And then they had a bowler. Yeah, Kyle Bowler or something like that from Cal for a few years, and Elvis Garback. I mean, they had that revolving door. That's what they had.
yeah, man. You got Well, I say that's pretty much like the top five in our teams. You got any like honorable teams or not team? You got any teams you want to mention real quick? Like any teams you want to go through this draft with? Let's say which team you think had the worst draft?
Oh,
Like they was just picking anybody. Like you ain't know what they was doing.
I got an F somewhere in here. Also, yeah. So the Saints,
The Saints.
the Saints got an F. I mean,
What they do? Like let me see
they
they.
didn't do really anything. I mean, you sit there and you look at what they brought in. Let me find my notes real
That,
quick
that
because
better wait
I
till
have a little bit right here where I basically talk about Tyler Shaw, who was their quarterback they chose over Shador Sanders.
Oh
But
my god, I seen that dude. I was like, ain't he like 26?
yeah, you ever heard of Chris Winkie?
Yeah, I heard though.
I was gonna say if you said no, then I would be like, there's a reason. But this guy, he's going to be the next Chris Winky in my eyes because dude's already getting there. He might as well just go ahead and start getting his car insurance from AARP. He's up there in age, and when you look at how old he is going into the NFL, the Saints got an F. The other team that I got that's right there with it, is the Colts because let's think about it. That's going to be a depressing situation when you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback, with Anthony Richardson as your other quarterback. And then you got that's it. That is who you're hinging your season on.
What's
Two
what's
quarterbacks
what's
that
wrong with
can't throw the
Anthony
ball.
Richardson?
Huh?
What's wrong with Anthony Richardson? I ain't never seen him play for real, but I be hearing. What's wrong with him?
Well, I think he had a 46 completion percentage in college.
Okay.
So he ain't going to be able, he can run the ball. And I mean, he's big. He's built like Cam Newton when he came out, but Cam Newton was actually accurate. So
Uh,
when you're throwing this ball, when you see him drop back and he's throwing this ball, dude, you don't know where it's going. You're
uh,
like, is it going in? Is it going to the receiver? Is it going into the stands? It's going into the sidelines. Is it going into in a lot of time and a few times it's gone into the other team's hands. So I mean, Anthony Richardson, he was a project quarterback that got picked in the third round because someone saw him throw a 75-yard dot one time and be like, that's our future. And Indianapolis Colts have done this many times before. They did it with Jeff George. They did it with a few other players. They nailed it with Peyton Manning, but they almost picked Ryan Leaf. So, I understand why they did it, but they should have let him sit for another year and just basically learn the system and then bring him on. You just don't throw a young man like that into it right off the rip. Do what the Browns did: draft two quarterbacks and bring in another one that can't really throw. So I mean, do what you got.
let's see. They picked up. I don't know none of these dudes. First they picked up an OT, and then they picked up a D tackle. They picked up
Mm-hmm.
your boy Tyler, dude like 30. But
Mm-hmm.
what's an SAF?
SAF.
Yeah, what is that? It's an SAF Jonas Sanker. What is an SAF?
Hold up.
What?
I gotta find my
Let me look. This. What is
screen.
an S? Hold up. Somebody gonna call me stupid. What is an SAF?
Safety, I'm guessing.
Safety. Okay. They should have just said they the only ones I seen got SA. Everybody else just say SS or FS. So don't they got linebacker, Quincy Riley at corner, Devin Neal.
Oh, it's coming on now. I got my notes up.
All right, go ahead and roast the Saints. What they do wrong?
Oh my god. So
You want to share your screen?
I'm looking at it on another computer screen. So I'm looking at so Kelvin Banks Jr. He is offensive tackle from Texas. I'll be straight up with you. Yes, they needed a tackle, but they could probably done better than Kelvin Banks Jr. He's not exactly. I never saw him really be dominant at
Mm-hmm.
on anything. Will Campbell, of course, I think was the best one. Then Mimbo, because you look at the technique and everything, they actually overpowered their who they were blocking. Kelvin Banks, he just sitting there playing patty cake. It's just you're sitting there. You're like, man, are you gonna sit there, or are you just dancing with the dude?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what my coach used to say. And then Tyler Shaw, we already talked a little about his tale. Do better. That's really what I'm looking at right now. Vernon Broadtown is going to be sitting there next to Breeze, and we'll see what he does. He didn't really do much at Texas. Jonas Sanker, yes, he's a good safety, but Lord knows you're going to need him. Danny Stutzman, yeah, there's a lot of names here that is not registering at all with what's going on in my brain because it's just, what are you thinking? you know
Uh,
But
Then we got the Colts. They was gassing up Tyler Warren like he supposed to be the next Dallas Clark for the Colts or something. Like
mhm,
I don't know if them analysts seen Dallas Clark play or play Madden. Dude was man look with Reggie Wayne and
mhm,
Marvin Harrison and James ID or Edgerrin James was
mhm.
gone. Dallas Clark was getting you 30 yards.
Yep.
That little post route he do,
Oh
30
yeah.
every time.
And I mean, and then you had Peyton Manning. I mean,
I
one of
mean,
the best quarterbacks to ever do it. I actually went up to Cannon to go watch him get inducted. Me and my wife. So that was a good time.
yeah, but
Another team, like I said earlier, I already kind of crapped on the Colts, but the Bengals, you kind of wondering what they're doing. You know, I would just say congratulations on the fact that the Bengals are in your division because what the way they drafted makes no damn sense at all. They
what they
got
do wrong?
they got Shamar Stewart who had 4 sacks his entire career in college,
What?
and yeah, dude, I like the Dylan Fairchild pickup from Georgia in round 3, and Barrett Carter's decent at round 4, but everything else in between, I'm not really feeling. Demetrius Knight, he could be decent, but you look at what they're doing. I mean, you got Trey Hendrickson about the trying to get up out of there, and you're like, okay, let me get Shamar Stewart, and everyone's like, are you really going to pick him up this early? So.
I know they did a lot of recruiting throughout the South. Clemson, Georgia, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, South. Yeah, y'all was in them ACC, SEC teams.
And you're in an area that's cold. Uh, let's think about that. That does transfer over, folks. I know that I played in South Carolina and North Carolina. North Carolina is a little colder than South Carolina, but I hated it. I hated it.
Man, I realized I'm like, hey, y'all was across the ACC, SEC. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, dude.
down south. Like that's it.
Yeah, that's evidently where they had their scouts the whole time. They didn't have it in the Big Ten, not in their own backyard. No, no, they're like, no, we want. How are you not going to draft anyone from Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State? I mean, I understand you want to go with the SEC is arguably Big Ten and SEC are right there neck and
Yeah,
neck
no, this ain't
talent.
like back then. SEC up here. No, they came down.
Yeah, I'm a little more realistic than most other SEC people, but yeah, man, mm,
So
garbage.
that's crazy. You gonna get all down south dudes, and they some of them look like they from. I don't know. They look like they from the south to play in the snowy cold for months on end. Like I don't know, man. All right, well, you got any other teams you want to roast? Oh, okay. Who you believe had the best draft? That was
Who
the
do I
worst
think had the
draft.
best draft?
Yeah.
I said that I really liked y'all's draft.
Mm-hmm.
But another draft I think was really good was, believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this because they got Sam Darnold as their quarterback, but I really like I really like what Seattle did, and the main reason why is Nick Emimori. Now I'm not a South Carolina fan, but this dude reminds me of Cam Chancellor in so many ways. You look at his size, the way he plays, he hits like a tank. They got Jalen Milroe who can sit back and watch Sam Darnold get destroyed for the next 3 years before he gets put in.
3
Uh,
years? I think I get him 1 year.
who, Jalen or Sam Darnold?
Darn, they put Jalen. I get him. I get Darn 1 year.
1 year.
They not about to have Milrow sitting back there. This ain't like back at that court. They be throwing them
Well,
quarterbacks in early. They need
it's
to
very
see it.
true. You heard it here first, folks. TJ calling the shot said 1 year. Sam Darnold got paid buckets. And
You see Derek Carr just left 30 million. Okay.
true, true. Well, I mean, Derek Carr would beat up too. And I mean, he was beating up that damn bank account from the Saints. But yeah, look at Gray Zabel, guard from North Dakota State. That's a great pickup. You know, they, from top down to bottom, they did really well. And I know a lot of people really talk about the Bears draft, and I talk a lot about the Browns draft. A lot of people really do like the Patriots draft too. But I think the Seattle Seahawks probably had the best draft out of anybody.
Mm-hmm. So the Seattle always been good at draft. Well, the past decade, I don't know if they was doing the 2000s, but the past like 2010s, ever since 2010s here, Richard Sherman and all that era, yeah, they good. They really good at the free agency. Cause they'll go pick
They
up
are.
a free agent. You never not know Sam Darnold. I don't know what though.
I was going to say Sam Darnold.
He
Sam
had
Darnold is
one
the
good
pick of the
season. Like, we gonna forget all them Jets days? Like, bro, only had what he like a backup a year or two. Then he like bro only had one good season. They acting like he been that dude for like 10 years. Dude had one good season. Hey, he like 31, 32.
Mhm.
How old is he?
Oh, Sam Darnold, he's 27.
Oh, I feel like he been in the league since like
They also got
2013.
Cooper Cup, which a lot, now he's pretty beat up, but I mean, still, if you just get half a cup, I guess is a good way to put it. I mean, that's better than
Cooper
some.
Cup with Seattle.
Cooper Cup's with Seattle.
Like, I know they traded him. I ain't know what think. I
Now
get
they
him
let
like
him go, and they Los Angeles let him go, and he signed with Seattle.
he
How
about to be.
about that?
I think he gonna be a short down catcher. He's not gonna be that long. He might still run down the field and out catch the defense off guard, but he's like a third and five. You just throw it to him, he go down because he's beat up like you said. That
Mhm.
running, dude, you not about to be running 30 yards every play. You just do your little 15 out, catch it, next play.
I think he's going to have his 3 games, and then he's going to get hurt. So
He was the only. Well, I wouldn't say he was the only option. He was them
back in
Rams.
the day, he was straight.
Yeah, but them post Todd Gurley and then Darn. It was like the post off. Like the defense was still good. Ramsey and
Mhm.
Darn on them, but I guess post Gurley, Todd Gurley getting injured, they relied on Cooper Cup a lot, so he started getting beat up more. Yeah, that I think that's what happened. But yeah, man. You want to go ahead and do outros?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, go ahead and tell them where they can find you at, man.
You can find me on Twitter for the most part. I am taking a summer long break. I will be back in August. So, TJ, congratulations. You were the last person that I was going to be. And it took a minute for us to get on the same length as far as like
Yeah.
getting this to come to y'all. But I appreciate you having on me here, bud. And you can find me Shots from the Sidelines on Twitter and also YouTube and stuff like that. So,
Well, this been y'all can find me on everywhere. I'm on Facebook, everything basically. I know a lot of people was like, I thought you'd never get on Facebook, but actually, Facebook kind of cool once you get rid of all the negativity. I don't all them. No, once you get
all the political rants.
yeah, I blocked all that. I don't want none of that on my time. Like, no, then we got
No,
Michael
no,
Schofield
no.
breaking out of jail in New Orleans. I know you seen Prison Break. I know you done seen Prison Break. Michael Scott, Michael Scofield breaking out prison in New Orleans. That's crazy. He had to he done retied his body. He do 8 though. He broke out 10 though. 10 bruhs. He
Yeah.
broke out 10 bruhs. Oh God, man. Through the toilet and all man. You not gonna tell me them dudes wasn't watching Prison Break. You not gonna tell me they wasn't.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
anyway.
I plead a fifth.
You not gonna tell me they want through the toilet. And they had the map. And they had Sarah and them helping them. Come on, man. What's the script? That's a so. I feel like we being punked. It gotta be. This gotta be a movie. They just showing it. This gotta be a movie, man. This can't be. Then go right. It's too easy.
No, I
Too
mean,
easy.
so
Yeah, cause you watch it. Man, I'm done. Anyway, other than that, well, yeah, y'all can follow me on all social medias. This been episode 38. Y'all will see Mad back in August or during the football season because I already know he gonna go off about the Bears because they're going to do something.
They're going to do something, good or bad. They're doing something.
They're going to do something. But yeah, miss episode 38. Y'all go follow man to all his social media and y'all go follow me too. And thank y'all for watching.